It's already started with there being a ton of turmoil surrounding none other than NBA superstar Kawhi Leonard and his future with the Clippers in serious doubt right now. There's been a ton of reports regarding multiple Knicks moves coming ahead in regards to this team trying to figure out their final roster, and there's a lot to go over with this situation. We're going to jump right into things as usual, guys, but real quick, if you are part of that percentage, that 57% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, make sure to subscribe for daily New York Knicks updates that we're bringing at you every day, because at the end of the day, that is what daily means after all. But jumping right into the video, guys, there's been a lot of discussion surrounding Kawhi Leonard and his future with the Los Angeles Clippers. That's no secret. We know what happened with the whole Kawhi thing now. There were some shell corporations and Steve Ballmer paying Kawhi Leonard under the table in a world where that's just highly illegal, and now there's just been a lot of questions about what the actual punishment is going to be. Is Kawhi going to get suspended? Is Steve Ballmer going to be forced to sell the team? Are they just going to lose a ton of draft picks, even though they don't have draft picks right now to lose? What is going to really happen with the Clippers? How are they going to be punished for this situation to draw Kawhi into the Clippers in an advantage that is semi-unfair based off the fact that Steve Ballmer is the wealthiest owner in the NBA and also is a top 10 richest person on the planet, meaning that if he wanted to, he could turn the sport to baseball like this, sign all the great players like the Los Angeles Dodgers do and like the Yankees used to before Hal Steinbrenner ran the team, and that is a whole disaster right now. Go check out Yankees Digest. You can see more of this ugly face and my awesome co-host Alex Brooks as well. But when it comes to the Knicks and this Kawhi Leonard situation, it has not taken fans long to start to put things together, and not just on the fact that people think Leon Rose is going out there making some under-the-table deal with Jalen Brunson, and you did see the thumbnail of this video, so you know what's kind of coming. As The Athletic mentioned, voiding Kawhi Leonard's Clippers contract is the most direct penalty available to the NBA. It's also the most problematic for the rest of the league, as John Hollinger mentioned. Now, Hollinger said about the situation, can you imagine if Kawhi Leonard were suddenly an unrestricted free agent halfway through this season? One who is forbidden from re-signing with the Clippers. Where does Kawhi go? Round and round we go. Where Kawhi stops, nobody knows. Maybe the Knicks, as fans took absolutely 4.5 seconds to suspect. As as it was posted right here by JC, Kawhi joining the Knicks mid-season. It's Thanos adding the final Infinity Stone. Now, by no way do the Knicks need Kawhi Leonard to win the NBA Finals. They are one of the favorites to win the Finals already, but they'd take him. Obviously, they'd take him. Who wouldn't take Kawhi? Oh, no. He wants under-the-table money. Boo-hoo. He's still great. I don't care. I don't care that Kawhi wants under-the-table money. He's not going to be able to do it again. Everyone's going to be breathing down his neck to make sure he's not. So that's done. That's over with. You can't do that. And also, Leon Rose is excellent at recruiting people and figuring out ways to make sure that you want to play for the Knicks, even if you take a little bit of a pay cut. Not like OG Anunoby did that. OG did the opposite, because OG was like, you just trade for Mikal Bridges. I want my money, considering I might lose my touches, which is totally fair in OG's sense. Also, if you just want to take the money, I'm not going to blame someone for trying to get rich. But when it comes to Kawhi Leonard, that's where things get really interesting, because here's what we have to consider. Where exactly would Kawhi go? Now, I'm glad you asked, because the Knicks are going to be one of the options, because it's easy for Kawhi to win on the Knicks, add another ring to himself, play really well in the championship, win with a starting lineup of Jalen Brunson, Mikal, Kawhi, OG, and Karl-Anthony Towns, absolutely breeze through the entire NBA, win the NBA Finals, and all of a sudden people are excited for Kawhi when he's no longer on a minimum contract. 10 teams will have money, and multiple teams will try to sign him so he can help them succeed. That is obviously a real situation. But also, does Kawhi want to leave Los Angeles or California at all in general? Because when we see, or really California or Los Angeles at all, we know Kawhi didn't sign with the Lakers partially because he didn't really want to play with LeBron James. That was part of the reason. That being LeBron's teammate means a whole lot of extra spotlight, where not being LeBron's teammate does not mean that. LeBron is an A-list celebrity at the end of the day. So if you're LeBron's marquee teammate, whether you're Anthony Davis, whether you're Luka Doncic, you're going to be subjected to more media than you've ever been subjected to before. That was the case with Dwayne Wade. That was the case with Kyrie Irving. That's been the case with Chris Bosh and Kevin Love as well. It's been the case with all the guys. I mean, even Anderson Varejao. Like, if you really want to go back far enough, LeBron's just an A-list celebrity outside of being an NBA player. It's the same thing as Tom Brady. He's an A-list celebrity whether or not he's on the field, and no matter who he's on the field with. The Patriots players were way more famous when Tom Brady played for the Patriots, no matter who it was. Obviously, there were famous players throughout those teams. For instance, Gronk, and he would have been famous regardless because he's Gronk. But there's outside players that you look at. I mean, was Julian Edelman really going to have all all that fame if he wasn't Tom Brady's teammate? Was Danny Amendola going to be someone that's still known to this day because of that? Where a few people remember that he was on the Dolphins after the Patriots for a bit? That's a big question. Are we going to look back? I mean, Mike Evans is always going to be famous in Tampa Bay for everything he's done there. But, like, even someone like Scotty Miller on the Bucks. It's another one of those situations. I know I'm getting off track here, but I'm just trying to prove a point why Kawhi wouldn't want to go to the Lakers. I think I did that. So you then look at the Sacramento Kings, well, they're a nightmare. And then you look at the Golden State Warriors, which to me feels like the most realistic option of all these teams. If Kawhi does get voided from the Clippers, I fully expect him to sign with the Golden State Warriors, but the Knicks are going to be right there because they're an easy way for Kawhi to pick up a win. I don't think he'd sign with the Thunder because it's just hard to figure out how that whole thing would work. The Knicks obviously wouldn't have the money to do so, but they'd free up the money in seconds to do so, as the Knicks are already starting to free up money to do things. And Kawhi is better than anyone like Malcolm Brogdon or Landry Shamet. Obviously, he's Kawhi Leonard. It's a whole different universe. Kawhi put up 21.5 points per game last year, 6 rebounds and 3 assists, shooting 50% from the field and 41% from 3. He's still as efficient as ever, even if it's in a little lesser volume, and he's dealt with some injuries. He's still Kawhi Leonard. Don't get it twisted. The man's still great, and that is something that we have to be very, 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 very aware of. Now, at the same time, we know the Knicks are trying to already free up cap space, and they would continue to do so if Kawhi was available. But since Kawhi's not available right now, we're going to stick to talking about the cap space they're currently trying to free up, as Stephen Bondi did say that Deuce McBride and Pacome Dadier are names to watch as potential Knicks trade candidates. As we know, Leon Rose and the New York Knicks want to add more players to this team, more talent, more veteran talent to this team. Malcolm Brogdon and Landry Shamet. They want to give both of them contracts. Here's the thing. There can only be one, but if you trade one of those guys, you can add another one. Now, you could also trade Tyler Kolek, but the situation is that you can't add a prorated veteran minimum salary at the end of the year in March, like what the Knicks did with PJ Tucker. They'd be handcuffed to 14 players for the entire season, unless they were to make some sort of 2-for-1 trade, where they're obviously getting the 2 in that situation. Are they really going to do that? That's the question that we have to ask ourselves. Now, here's the thing. Cutting money is a little bit complicated because the only team with money is the Brooklyn Nets. They've already ate up a lot of that salary by acquiring players, and they recently just did that again with Kobe Buffkin, who they just acquired as well, from the Atlanta Hawks for cash considerations, so the Hawks can just dump off Buffkin's money. So it's becoming less and less money that the Nets have. Luckily, both those contracts, whether it's Deuce or Pacome, is easily eatable by the Brooklyn Nets. Now, Deuce is someone who would suck to lose, because when you look at Deuce McBride, the man played 25 minutes per game last year. He was the Knicks' 6th man, put up 9.5 points, 2.5 rebounds, and 3 assists, shooting 37% from 3 and 40% from the field. He's also one of the best point-of-attack defenders on the Knicks. I think he has a very, very important role here, and I don't want to see the Knicks trade Deuce. I think it would actually be somewhat of a mistake just to sign Malcolm Brogdon, basically trading Deuce McBride for Malcolm Brogdon. I don't like the idea of that, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah, Malcolm Brogdon runs an offense better, but Deuce plays better defense and shot 37% from 3, where last year Brogdon shot 28%. I do think Brogdon will go back up. I've said that before, but at the end of the day, I still feel the way I feel in that situation. Now, Pacome, he only played in 6.2 very, very inconsistent minutes per game, putting up 1.7 points per game and 1 rebound, shooting 32% from the field and 31% from 3. He barely got any playing time whatsoever. He's very raw. He has a long way to go, but the Knicks do very much believe in him, and they'd rather not trade him. However, if you have to trade him for Malcolm Brogdon when you're a team that, as that man said right there, is solely focused on winning a championship in 2026, they're going to do that, because that's what it means to be solely focused on winning a championship in 2026. Now, we look at Pacome. The man's gotten better as time's went on. He had an abysmal first summer league with the Knicks, showing he just wasn't ready to perform yet. And in his second summer league, he still didn't shoot the ball too well over the 2 games that he appeared in, but he did put up 12 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, 1 assist, and was still pretty solid, shooting 46% from the field. He has improved. It's very clear he's improved. And with the Westchester Knicks in 23 appearances last year, he played 31.8 minutes per game, put up 14 points, 5.4 rebounds, and 2 assists. He shot 40% from the field and just under 30% from 3. So again, the efficiency's not fully there yet. He's an excellent defender. He's got all the makings to be a great shooter in the NBA. He's just not fully there yet. And the Knicks, they will move on if they think that this is their best chance to win a championship. I'm going to give you a spoiler right here. It's the best year they can win a championship. So don't be surprised if Pacome gets traded. Don't be too surprised if Deuce gets traded. I do have a little video on Deuce potentially getting moved as well as someone else that we're going to talk about at a later date as well. Probably will come out tomorrow. That's my plan. Maybe the next day. But we'll get over that when we get over it. Guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Go Knicks.